Hey everyone, we are doing a live demonstration today of how you can use the Empower AI agents. So we've got Georgina's got a specific task that she wants to explore. And what we're doing is we are creating a questionnaire that will allow a a scoring process to be able to create a report. So there's like three steps. There's the questions to be created. There's the scoring mechanism that needs to also be created for the different categories. And then there's a report that needs to be generated based on the score of the assessment. It's quite a big process. Georgina, I should have asked you at the beginning, how are you for time?
Oh, I'm okay.
Cool. Okay, fab. Uh, let's just start with Georgina. Who are you? What's the purpose of the quiz?
Okay, right. Yeah. So I am a dyslexia specialist and I have created a load of resources and obviously my training time and things like that that I want to be able to offer to schools specifically for this purpose. So what I wanted to do was do like a lead generator by creating an audit style quiz for schools, probably specifically Senkos, for them to complete. Want it to be reasonably quick to complete so they're not spending too much time, so they stay engaged with it and submit it. So that I can then audit what their SEN dyslexia provision is like and hope to be able to upsell myself to them as a result.
Cool. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is use Celeste. And Celeste is our customer service agent. She has a list of all the agents, all of the 47 agents that we have. So if you open Celeste and just say that you're click the conversation starter and then just say that you want to create a quiz stroke assessment. And what she'll do is she'll identify which are the best agents to use.
So all in capitals, I'm not shouting at you,
Doesn't
Celeste.
matter.
Sorry.
Doesn't matter. That's the great thing about AI. Okay, so we've got Harry, who was actually specifically designed to create quizzes, and then Celestra as a second option for great using testimonials to inform. I would say that one's not relevant actually. The first one definitely. I don't know why it's pulling in the. Don't know why it's pulling in the second one. Okay, so if we open up Harry,
Okay.
postman's just turned up.
Oh, it's always untimely, isn't it?
So what we want to do here is actually tell Harry what it is that we're doing.
Okay.
So it's something along the lines of I want to create it's an assessment really, isn't it? More so than a quiz, I guess. I
Yeah.
want to create an assessment type quiz that name the type of people that are going to be filling it in.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to create an assessment, a quiz, have cares. What is it that you want to find out? Find out.
To evaluate what their SEN provision is like for dyslexic students, really.
Yeah. And then you want to put, these are the types of questions I have in mind. And then add the questions in. Now, as Georgina's typing this, Harry's been created to create quizzes. So this AI agent is specific. It's been set up just to purely help people to create quizzes, assessments that they can use in their business, whether that's as a lead magnet or as part of if you were doing a course. It can be used in lots of different ways, but its speciality is creating quizzes. So we've got the questions. The next thing is a bit of information about you want to be able to score the answers to the questions so that you can provide a report.
Okay, do you want me to type that in as well there,
Yeah,
Wendy?
yeah. So we've got three stages to it really. Questions, the assessment in terms of the numbers, and then the report. Now it won't be able to do the report. I wouldn't recommend doing the report in Harry because but what we need to tell him is the steps of why we want to use him, why
Okay.
for the purpose of the quiz. Okay, so if you think everything's in there, just click enter and let's see what we've got.
Okay. Excited to find out what it gives me. Okay.
Giving you
Right.
two, so you can pick one between the two.
Right, this is a brilliant and much needed idea for an assessment style quiz, especially in supporting Senko's head teachers reflecting on their practice. Okay. Oh,
And we're
sitting
doing
quiet.
this on Georgina's ChatGPT because it's got a memory of her. If I did it on mine, it wouldn't come out the same because it's holding a memory of me. So whenever you're using the agents, you need to use them on your own system to get the best results because it's got Georgina's history and how she likes to use the AI. Whereas if I did it, it would interfere. It wouldn't be as good.
Think maybe this second option looks a little bit
Yeah.
more like what I'm
So
after.
just click down the bottom.
Okay, where I prefer this.
Yep.
No, no, I prefer the response. I have a tongue runner. I
Yeah.
prefer this response.
So let's go through it let's go through it methodically. So if it's not right, what I do is I copy and paste the bit that isn't right, stick it into the chat box down the bottom, and then just say why it's not right,
Okay.
and just ask it to adjust.
I like the first two bullet points there. Be scored or flagged based on alignment with evidence-based practice. Yeah, that's good. Generate custom feedback reporting based on ranges of missing provision. Yeah, that's good as well. Multiple choice questions and weighted answers. Yes. Open-ended options. Yes. A scoring system to classify schools as foundational, developing, or leading provision. Yeah,
That's
might want to
good.
change that wording. Yeah, might
Yeah,
want to change that wording a little bit, but yeah,
that,
that's
that's
easily
good
done, isn't it?
because when it does the scoring, it's going to put them into one of those three categories, I think.
Yeah, yeah, sounds it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Once basic or reflective detailed version, would you like a basic version for fast completion and light insights? Will it do both for me so I can give
Yeah,
them
you can,
two
yeah.
options?
Yeah, you can say do the you can copy and paste the first one and stick it in the box, and then it'll do the light one. Then once it's done the
Yeah,
light one, you can just copy and paste the second one in, and then say do the more detailed one.
yeah, because schools might actually only have time to do a light one and then might perhaps want a more informed feedback actually and be willing to do a second one, mightn't they?
Yeah, I think you have to think about what is it that why are you doing this?
Mm,
What's the purpose of you doing this? Because what you don't want to do is make yourself really busy by doing lengthy reports that you may not need to do. So the simpler
yeah,
might actually just give you the position to get your foot in the door. You don't need to do any
yeah,
more than that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's like, why are you doing it
yeah. Like you say, you don't want to be
too much?
inundated with a
Yeah,
pile of
you want
leads
it
that aren't really going to go anywhere.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I've done that. I've the first time I did this process, yeah, I gave I gave too much away. So no one came back to me because I'd given it away.
Well,
And
that's the other thing, isn't it, as
yeah,
well?
it's easy to do when you're using AI because it's so good. It like takes seconds.
Yeah,
So you're not bothered, you just do it naturally, but actually it doesn't
yeah.
help yourself.
So shall we say let's try the basic version first?
Yep.
Oh, I do love it when it just pings everything up like
It's
this.
crazy how fast it is, isn't it? It's just like, oh my God. And the thing with this is it's only as good as the person who's, like us, we're sitting here, you're the expert, you're going to say whether this is going to work, whether it isn't going to work. You couldn't just copy this and then use it. You've got to add the nuance into it.
Yeah. So where it's saying here 1 point,
Yeah. So what it's
and then it's giving it 2 points for the others.
Yeah. So what it will do is if people fill in tick primary, it'll give it 1 point. If the, if it ticks, oh, they're all 1 point actually. Where's the
Yeah.
difference?
So I think what it's doing, that's fine, I think, because it's not classifying what type of school you are, because that doesn't matter to me. So everyone's getting
Right.
the same score on that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But actually, it has picked up there that for a specialist school or a PRU, which is pupil referral unit,
Yeah.
is a stronger scoring. So they're more likely to have, but it doesn't necessarily say they will have, but they are more likely to have something in place than a
It would
mainstream
make
school.
sense. Well, you would like to
Yeah,
think so at that level, wouldn't you? I mean, really,
yeah.
they're the people
No,
that need
doesn't
it.
necessarily. Yeah.
No.
So do you currently have pupils with a formal dyslexia diagnosis? Yes, several. See, I'm not quite sure where it's going with the scoring here, because if it's given them 2 points for that, it doesn't mean to say they're any better. So I wonder if that point should be the same all the way through.
Let's have a look and see what it actually says for the scoring, because what you want it to do is to fit into three distinct categories, probably.
Yeah,
Because then it would be different recommendations. So is it that
yeah,
I could be I'm just making this up now. Is it that it doesn't mean that they're any better than the other, or does it mean that they're further ahead, so they need a different type of service?
yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Trying to figure out what it's thinking at that
Yeah,
point, actually, why it's
yeah,
scoring it as
yeah.
that. Okay. Learners' needs and identification. Do you have pupils who did not meet the expected standards? Oh, I like that question. Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. And it's a good percentage there as well that it's put up, because it is only likely to be that sort of smaller percentage. Are you seeking interventions? Did you do? Yes. Good. Interventions and programs. Oh, now this is great, because I've asked it to put in there the validated phonics programs, and this has really dragged those correct ones in,
Brilliant.
and actually this little Wandle and Read Write Inc are the two top ones in the country that schools tend to use. So
Clever,
that's really good.
clever.
um, and again, with this here, what interventions are you using? Nessie Toe by Toe, again, the most go-to programs for school. Okay, so that's really, really good. I'd like it to maybe put other in there as well, so they can
Yeah,
fill that in themselves.
yeah.
Delivering and training. Who delivers your phonics interventions? Yeah, so that's good. It's recognised HLTAs as well. Who delivers dyslexia interventions? Yeah, specialist teacher. It's recognised that. Good. General TAs with some training. Good. Yeah, so that's good. Those sorts of questions that they're asking there. Right, so scoring in summary, 16 to 20 points, leading provision, developing provision, and foundational. But I don't know if it's given me enough there to actually go back and say, well, maybe it is actually.
Well, I
I'm
think
thinking,
you would need to once I'm just thinking about the assessment I did, and they were quite different. They were quite different. Um, the assessments were quite different. So
yeah,
it's quite a difference between 0 to 8 to 9 to 15, 16 to 20.
yeah. It'd be
But
interesting to see what kind of detailed report it would give, as in what information is it going to give them. And I think
yeah,
actually maybe there's a question missing there, something about, I want to find out really, and this is where I like AI, because I want it to formulate a question for me around what difficulties are they currently facing in their school? Why are they
Yeah,
looking to do an audit? That kind of question,
yeah,
really.
yeah. Which, it, yeah, it's like, do you want them to describe it as in a box and they just fill it in like free,
Yeah.
or do you actually want them to tick something that will give them a score? Um, if you go, let's go back and have a look at the one that's with more detail, because
Okay.
you've got an idea of what an idea of the differences between the two of
Yeah.
them. What's more detail, wasn't it? I can't remember what it said.
Okay, I'll just put, let's have a look at the more detailed questions. Okay. Not put any scoring against these. I wonder why that is.
Hmm. So you could
Yes.
just put in the questions and the scoring.
Okay. Should we just have a look at the questions for now and then
Yeah,
ask it did scoring
yeah,
after? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So approximately how many students do you have with a formal diagnosis, EHCP, suspected? I like that kind of stuff as well, because it's really making them think. Um, do you routinely? Yeah, this is more like it actually. Phonics screening, check failures, persistent spelling and writing challenges, slow speed. Yeah.
I noticed it's got scoring there, but it hasn't actually got a score next to it.
No, it hasn't, has it?
Scoring 5 to 6 indicates 2 points. Not sure what that
Does
means.
it? Oh, I think it means I'll be ticking 5 to 6 boxes.
Right. Ah, right.
Quarterly
Okay.
score.
Okay.
Maybe that's what it's doing there.
Yeah. 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 Actually, yeah. That is. So it's figuring it out differently.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's asking there about intervention programs. How do you how do you monitor effectiveness? Yeah, that's good. Um, Staff development and enterprise. Okay, that's a very similar type question there. Yeah, this is good because this allows me to go in and sort of say here, well, you're not doing any intervention right now. Would you like me to provide an intervention program?
Mm.
Okay. Do you have clear policy or strategy for dyslexia literacy difficulties? Yeah, that's a little bit more. Yeah, actually, that's got some more in-depth questions there, but it's not too taxing on the person completing it, actually. So that's
No,
not too
and
bad.
you would expect it to be analytical, wouldn't you? If you were filling it in, you would want it to be analytical because otherwise you're going to think, oh, this person doesn't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
So it gives it a
yeah,
bit more weight, gives it a bit more credibility, I think.
yeah.
So would you like to now generate a sample report summary, um, a progress tracker, or let's try A. Let's see what a
Yeah.
sample report looks like. I mean, it's not going to be, it's going to give an outline to give you ideas of how you can create the report.
Yeah.
What headings go in, what type of
Mm,
recommendations it's going to recommend.
okay. Okay, this is good. Your response indicated that some early identification strategies are in place, but you could strengthen a diagnostic confidence. Program you're currently using one of the validated programs. That's a good start.
The
So
thing is,
monitoring
the
program.
report is going to be different depending on the score.
Yes, obviously, yeah. I like that, the fact that it's giving recommendations there. But could I put recommendations in
Yeah,
there about myself, as
yeah, of
in,
course you can. Yeah,
tell it in that section that this is
yeah,
what Code Breakers offers, that kind
yeah.
of stuff.
So what I would do is I would go back through the second one it is that you prefer, the one that is more, more in
Yeah, the
line
more
with your
in-depth one.
style, more in-depth one.
Yeah,
I would go through it, make sure you've got all the questions are right, make sure it's got the scoring that's right, and then that's sorted. All you've got to
yeah.
do is make a decision as to how you're going to get them to fill it in. So would that be jot form? What mechanism are you going to use?
All right. So within the Nexus system, it's actually got
Oh,
a quiz
brilliant.
system in there, yeah,
Oh,
already
brilliant.
built in.
Brilliant.
So I've not
Brilliant.
used it yet, so I need to
Yeah.
populate it with this information now.
Yeah, brilliant. So that's
So
great.
then when that gets completed, I then obviously need to have AI to generate a report back for them, don't
Yeah.
I?
Yeah.
So will I take that for result and then put that into whichever AI agent I
So
select
what I
then?
would do your questions so they're right with the assessment scoring, which is right. Get it to generate a report, and then go through the reports for each different tier of scoring. So you've got three different types of report. They're going to be similar, but three different types of report. Um, Create the formula and the foundation for the first one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
And then do the same for the other two. And then when you pop the results back into AI, it'll give a score, and then you just add in the other template prompt and say, write the report based on this framework, given that
Okay.
score.
So which agent would you use for writing the report then?
Oh, good question. So let's go. Oh, if you do the at sign and then pull in
Okay, yeah,
Celeste
yeah.
and just say, given the above, which would be the best agent to write the report? It might be Wendy.
Oh, still saying Harry.
Still saying Harry. It sort of makes sense.
Well, yeah.
It makes sense because it's got the process, it's got the knowledge.
I mean, sometimes if I'm doing something like that and it generates that, I might say, Lucas, can you tell me, have we missed anything there? That's what
Yeah,
generally I tend to say.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You can pull any of the other agents in. If you want to take no notice of this and you prefer a style of one of the agents, you prefer how it's written, is that so what I would probably do is I would pull in, because I like what the way Wendy writes, I would pull in
Mm,
Wendy and I would say rewrite this. And then I'd
mm,
have a look at it and think, well, do I like that? And if I didn't, I'd pull in another agent and say rewrite this. So
yeah, yeah,
you've got a choice, and then you can just make a decision as to which one it is you want to use
you
moving.
know how you were saying at the beginning as well that we want to entice the right people in. I don't
Yeah,
want to flood myself with too many inquiries that aren't
yeah,
really interested in me
yeah.
fulfilling their problem.
So
I
there
would
needs
often drag Lucas in at that point and say, do you think that's going to achieve that? You know,
yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And
should we exclude or include other particular questions?
it's almost like you want in here like a pre-qualifying question. I don't know what that question
Yes.
would be, obviously, because it's not my area of expertise. But you
Yeah.
could, if you just click off Celeste a second and just ask the question,
Yeah.
just say something like, I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, you still want to send the report, obviously, but it's who do you actually make a concerted effort with to reach out to,
Yeah.
to get on the phone, to have a conversation. So I don't want to waste my time with too many inquiries. What would be a good pre-qualifying question to ask? It's the people who are going to be the most likely to invest.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see what it comes up with.
Yeah.
So I really
Shall
don't
I
know.
tag Lucas in on that?
Um, I would leave it with Harry for a second. Let
Okay.
Harry do it first, and then ask Lucas to do it afterwards, and see what the difference is.
Yeah. So top qualifying questions. What role do you hold? Yeah, that's important because quite often I get, TAs and they're not the decision makers. So we don't
Yeah,
want those kind of people
yeah.
filling things in. What's your biggest challenge right now? That is a question that I like. Have you allocated any funding? Yes, that's
That's a
another
good one.
good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Are you looking for external support, training, or provision? Yeah.
That's a good one.
Would you like personalised report that benchmarks your current provision or offers a strategic next step? I mean, all those are relevant.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see what Lucas says. Let's see if he does any. What be interesting to see if he does anything different. It's funny. I got a message from a client this morning. I always say that people have their favorite agents, and people think I'm nuts. But I got a message from someone this morning saying how in love they were with Steve, and Steve
I've not
writes
met Steve
stories.
yet.
You haven't met Steve yet. Uh, yeah, and I just laugh. I just laugh. So Steve's a favorite, Alex is a favorite, Lucas is the overall favorite.
Yeah. What shall I ask Lucas here?
Um,
Just generally, would they improve on those qualifying questions?
yeah, can you think of anything different? What would be a better question? I just want one question. What would it be?
I mean, I think the role of somebody is the key role through the key question anyway. That's got to be in
Mm,
there. Pain and action combo. I hate pain questions, but
pressure point
I think that one's a bit strong. Are you under pressure to
angle.
improve outcomes for pupils?
Does it's an interesting question. I'm thinking of things like I don't know if you have Ofsted for schools. Is it Ofsted?
Yeah, we
We
do.
the
Yeah.
children's home. So some will any schools be on special measures?
Some will. Yeah, I'm not sure whether they've reframed those answers though.
Right.
Um, because there was a big debate about Ofsted's sort of statements of schools and stuff because it was having a lot of negative effect, wasn't it, on the staff? So I think they
Yeah.
reframed things. So,
I mean, they're
so are you
not.
open to receiving?
Yeah, I've had my own experiences with Ofsted.
Yeah. To be honest, I think I preferred the ones that Harry put in.
Yeah.
Um,
So the thing with Lucas is he's going to be more businessy, whereas Harry isn't. Harry's not made.
mm,
Harry's made to do quiz. He's not made for business, whereas Lucas is made for business.
yeah,
So it's a very different feel to each agent.
yeah. No, I prefer that softer touch Harry's got there.
Just
Um,
who else you could
but I
use?
don't. I think those questions are pretty quick to answer anyway. So I don't think there's anything particularly wrong in including them. Especially have you allocated funding towards your SEN development this
Yeah,
year? You've got
yeah,
to know that. If they haven't, there's absolutely no point in
yeah,
following up with them at all.
yeah. And maybe there just should be a straightforward question of what would I say? I would be saying something like, are you intending to invest money in or invest training or upskilling or I don't know what the words are.
Yeah, I quite like that one.
Yeah.
See, this is why I like AI, because I've got a legal background and I can be a bit too direct with questions and I don't soften them enough, because it just comes from a factual base. And it's like I like the softness of that.
Well, being dyslexic, you don't, yeah, you're not, I was always got told off for not buttering things up, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means, but I get told off for being too direct. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. So I'm
English.
happy with them. Yeah, I think I would generally include the majority of those questions.
It's just insane, isn't it? Can you imagine how long this would have taken to do yourself?
It'd have
You,
been a blank paper syndrome for me.
yeah, for sure. It would be like, I love this because not only does it do the questions, but it also gives you the assessment and it also helps you to write the report. And
Yeah, you
it
can
gives
see
it,
what that report might look like, and then you can kind of go, oh no, I don't want it to look like that.
yeah,
So I need to amend those
exactly.
questions first.
Yeah. But once you've got the framework, you've got the framework, and then
Yeah.
it's just a case of popping the assessment back that they've given you. I don't think you're going to be able to automate this bit, but taking the information they've given you, pop it into the AI, it doing the scoring and then writing the report based on framework it is that you've given it.
Yeah. What did you say? You didn't think it'd be able to do what?
Yeah, so you won't be able to automate between Nexus and
Oh no, no, we wouldn't
yeah,
expect that. So that's no
yeah.
problem. No.
So you can automate it in terms of them filling it in, getting it in, populating the CRM,
Yeah.
no problem. That's brilliant. But then you have to
Yeah.
take that and then pop it into uh Harry, and then he will do the assessment and the report, and you've got to
Hmm.
copy and paste it and then send it back out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's no biggie, is it really?
Yeah, no, not really. No.
I mean, I've done in the past a whole lesson plan, and it's created 60 teaching points for me
Right.
as an area where I can just personally comment on a student's progress.
Yeah.
And then I filled one of those in and stuck it back through, and it produced a brilliant report for me.
Yeah, brilliant.
So that's now allowed me to then give that as an add-on quarterly report.
Yeah, and
No
as you
extra
said
charge.
that, I was just thinking, you only need 10 back of these, and you've got, you know, you can then take them all, put them back into the system, and say, write me a report based on all these key findings. And then you've got another asset that you can use to
Yeah,
go back to. It's another way in to go back to school and say, look, this is the findings from the assessments from I don't know, pilot example or whatever. Um, would you like a copy? Would you like to have a conversation?
mm,
It's another. Couldn't do it
yeah,
before. It would take too much time.
yeah, yeah. Okie dokie, that looks
You could do
brilliant.
loads of stuff. You can run a webinar off the back of it. There's a whole
Yeah,
load of stuff that you can do off the back of this really, really easily now.
yeah.
So, any other questions? Anything you want to go back through?
I'm just want to flick back.
Oh, I love my agents. I think they're awesome. Just, they're great.
When it asked me, oh, that was it, a sample
Yeah.
report, a progress tracker for follow-up actions. No, that's okay. Or a ready-to-use form, but it doesn't really create us ready-to-use forms, does
No,
it?
it doesn't. It can't do it.
Still
I wish
telling
it would stop
porcupines at the
doing
moment.
this. I wish it would stop things it cannot do because it cannot do that. Well, if you put it into projects, actually, that's not strictly true. So in an agent, it can't do it.
Mhm.
If you God, it's long-winded though. It's like two extra steps that where you could just put it on a sheet. So what you could do is copy and paste it into a project and then ask it to do it.
Yeah,
But it can't do it from an agent for some reason. I don't know why.
I've forgotten how you get into a project. Oh, there
So
it's a project,
yeah,
isn't it? Yeah, there's a plus
yeah,
sign. That's it. Yeah. Cool.
yeah, yeah. So
Right.
you can do it that way, but what's the point? You could just copy and paste it onto a Word document. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, you're giving yourself two extra steps, which just seems a bit
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right. Got plenty to go on there. Another job for me to
fabulous.
do. Thank you
Yeah,
very
well, that was
much.
good. That was easy.
Mm. Okay.
Thank you for allowing me to go through the process with you. I really appreciate it. It's nice
No,
for
no, it's no problem at all.
phone on the floor. It's nice for people to see how how easy it is and how effective it is, and that
Mm.
the agents are created to mirror you. That they're created around a role. So as long as you give it context, it can do its job. If you don't give it context, it can't do the job.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's so many businesses that could do that type of thing to create an audit style quiz
Yeah.
to be able to get leads. It could apply to
Um,
so many people.
quizzes are a great lead magnet. They are they are brilliant. The trick is not giving them too much in the report.
Yeah.
That's the trick. Is they'll happily fill it in, but it's how much. How do you shape the assessment, the feedback?
Yes.
So it could be, you know what? It could be actually that. Okay,
Got
this is
another
just a
thought now.
thought. This is a thought. It could
Go on.
be that the ones that have answered the right question, the pre-qualifying question, that you have a phone conversation with them or a face-to-face conversation with them rather than doing a report, and you talk them through the report and don't just give them the report.
Mm.
So I need to make that note to myself because that's probably what I need to do myself rather
Yeah.
than giving them a report, them not reading it, them ghosting me, you know, all of the drama
Yeah.
that comes with
Yeah.
that.
That's the thing as well. That you do find that ghosting when somebody's taken some information or you're getting to the point of um, closing a deal, let's say,
Yeah,
for want of a better
yeah,
word. And actually, what I'd probably ask now in this, or ask one of the other agents, I don't know if you can suggest who it would be, but if I wanted to follow up with an opening conversation over the phone, could you give
mm,
me a bit of a script for that?
Lucas probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, or tip, maybe try
Yes.
tip
Yeah.
as well. Because that's sales psychology. She was set up on the back of sales psychology, so maybe tip.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so that might be something worth thinking about. Is rather than just sending it to them, the ones that are pre-qualified, is to actually have a call with them and talk them through it with someone who's in a position of authority.
Yeah.
You can't do them all, obviously, because it's going to take too much time, but that could work really well.
Mm. Yeah.
We both
Yeah.
know the more you get people on the phone, the more likely you are to sell.
Yeah.
Reports, you know, are helpful, but they're not going to get us. They're not always going to get us a phone call. Actually, having a
No.
conversation and building a relationship with someone.
And specifically, actually, within my sector of education, it's one so hard to get to the right person. So this will enable me to get to the right person.
Yeah.
And they want to make a purchase. Often they're in a position. I've got two schools now sitting, waiting, and there are various things that are stopping them. But I hadn't got the guts to phone these two schools before until I asked one of the agents to provide me with an opening conversation that gave me the confidence to actually pick up the phone. Because I kind of thought, well, if I've lost this sale, I may as well just lose it and have this as a learning experience of how I'm going to make a conversation with them. So it gave me a script and it sort of, oh, yeah, that's okay. It sounds okay. I can sort of go with that. And when I picked the phone up, the school was so friendly. It was like, oh, God, I'm so sorry. We've been meaning to get back to you.
Oh,
And it
brilliant.
was just an icebreaker. And we've developed a relationship, and that's enabling me now to just know that I can pick the phone up and go, "Hiya, how are things going? Is that budget there for you yet?"
Yeah, brilliant.
Rather than sitting thinking, "Oh God, why have I been ghosted?"
Yeah,
And they haven't really ghosted you. They're just
they're
not
just
in a
busy.
position right
Yeah, they're
now.
just
Yeah,
busy.
just busy. Yeah, but that's my rejection sensitivity problem coming in.
Well, I think that's quite natural though, because it doesn't take a lot to communicate with someone, does it? You know, I'm
No, I
super
wish they'd
busy. I'll
just
get
go,
back to
"Oh,
you later. It's
yeah, we're
like
just sorting yeah,
drives
yeah.
drives me nuts.
It does
Yeah,
me as well, yeah.
I'm the same. I think a lot of people are the same actually. You know, because you put your heart and your soul into it, don't you? It's like it's really important to you. It's not like you're selling a cheeseburger or something. It's something that
No, well, it isn't, is it? Yeah.
changing and really important. So it's like you are in, and rightly so, you should be invested in it. It's just not nice. It's just a
No.
horrible part of business, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right
Okie
then.
dokie. Thank you for
Cool.
that.
Let me know how you get on.
I
And
will
if you've got
do.
any
Yeah, I'm going to go
questions,
and experience the CRM system now with it.
if you've got any questions, just pop them in the WhatsApp group. I was thinking, what group is it?
Okay.
The WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that
Cool.
group called? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Take care.
All right. See you soon.
See you. Bye. Bye.